Welcome back to WCS America. I'm Axeltoss, joined by Axslav. Currently in the winner's match. Oz versus Sage. The players ready. Sage up 1-0, looking good today.
He's looked very good. I mean, he took down Sen 2-0. That first game looked a bit rough. When Sen had such a great army, he had, the Ultralists, the Queens, the Broodlords. But, all it takes is one mistake against Sage, and he will punish you for it.
Yep.
We saw that for Sen. He caught the Queens off guard. We saw it this last map against Oz. When Oz got stuck on the ramp, boom, time warp, massive concave. Sage is not a guy you can afford to make a tactical error against, because he will find it, he will exploit it.
Sage looking super duper solid. And
Oh,
looks like we're
boom.
gonna have to have
That's a fast win.
a remake.
Oh,
I don't think it counts.
it doesn't count?
No, because
You can't get the 5-second victory screen?
not today, Nick. Not today.
Those are my favorite victory screens, man. The
I
5-second
know, isn't
ones.
that like when you're having a hard day on ladder and then your opponent just leaves?
Yeah,
Feels good.
it does.
Yeah, it gets you
like,
a little bit motivated.
You know what? I may have lost the last 10 games, but this one I won in 2 seconds, so that should count as 10 wins, right? If you win that fast. That's what I say to myself. And then like the little devil on my shoulder says, "But you didn't actually win the game.
Yeah.
The opponent just left." I'm like, "Shut up, devil." He left because he was scared of me.
That's exactly what happened. Saw the name IS Axslav on ladder. I'd be pretty terrified too. You're pretty good at StarCraft.
Sometimes I'm pretty bad. Of
I
course,
heard you made an account on EU. So
Yeah.
look out Europe.
Yeah.
Axslav has said, you know what, North America is too easy for me.
I think it'll be my Terran account.
You said random.
I know, but like I'm so bad with Zerg. Zerg's just too there's too many tense moments. Like all through the early game, you're
Zerg
freaked
is
out.
fun,
as Zerg.
man. I know. I know.
It's so like it's a nerve-wracking race to
It
play
is.
because there's so much stuff that can happen. to you early
Very
on.
unforgiving. And then as you get later in the game, you're like, there's so many units you have to control.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm too lazy for that.
it's a tough race, man. I mean, all the races are tough in their own different ways.
Right.
But for me, Zerg's the most alien. It looks like we're getting the regame going on. Of course, the map's gonna be Daybreak, and Daybreak's a pretty interesting map in PvP because Blink Stalkers are so much weaker in Daybreak. There's the paths are all straightforward, right? It's not like you can blink from path to path, or you can blink into the main from weird angles. So yeah, early on you can't blink into the main very easily, and so it's easier to defend. And then in the mid and late game, you can't even really run around too well because it's just like the only way you can blink is straight backwards or straight forwards. There's not all these cool cliffs to manipulate with blink. So we probably won't see blink stalkers as much, and also it's more line fights. So things like Colossi are amazing, and if it gets stalemated out, we might see some Tempest play.
Yeah, a lot of pathways on Daybreak where you can really set up those concaves and try to get a better position than your opponent. But here we are in Game 2 on Daybreak. In the top right-hand location is your Root Protoss player in the blue. He's currently up 1-0. He is 1 win away from advancing to Premier League Season 2 WCS America. He is Sage. His opponent in the bottom left, Red Protoss player from Team Evil Geniuses, was able to take out Phoenix in the first match, in his first match today. Try to win 2 in a row here, so he doesn't have to go and face Sen potentially. He is Oz. Yeah, I think the story of today is Sage is just playing like a monster, playing really, really well, and I'm wondering what Oz has up his sleeve to try to make something happen. Does he go for a third base? Remember, last game he decided to go for that 2-base line. Does he try to do some sort of 1-base, heavy pressure push? We'll see. We shall see.
It's interesting. We talk about up-and-coming players like State, Drunken Boy, the up-and-coming players from the United States, but I think a lot of people overlook Sage as a potential real big up-and-comer. I mean, he hasn't had the big wins yet, but we've seen him do so well recently in the Acer Team Cup for Team Brood. He's been the race player. He's done exceptionally well there. And then in the Challenger League qualifiers, he took out Hyun. And then, yes, in the Challenger League bracket, he lost to Vibe. But, that wasn't, Vibe's first of all very good, and also it was a team kill situation. There's a lot of, that series is kind of funny. It was like a lot of mind games in the series, a lot of kind of wacky play there. So, it's a series that it's like, okay, you can forgive him for losing that. And since then, he hasn't really dropped the map. Otherwise, he could be a real contender for the Premier League, I think.
We'll see, and it's looking like it might be a good chance he will get into Premier League, being up 1-0, only one win away. And of course, if he should fall, he already did beat Sen, so Sage has to be happy with how today is going. And of course, any fans of Root Gaming as well. I think if Sage qualifies, that makes 4 Root players in Premier League, which is not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. But opening up this game, we see a Mothership Core being the only actually a little bit ahead here for Sage. Not a huge deal. Mothership Core builds very fast. So, similar openings, honestly.
Very, very similar. Oz again going crazy for the gas. But this game, Sage also getting a lot of gas prioritization going on to get that Mothership Core out, along with his initial couple of units. And Sage, oh look, Sage is being sneaky. Being sneaky. Look at that positioning. This is a build.
It's the last place you'll look, right?
Yeah, I saw this exact build, not this exact one, it's actually much faster DT rush, but that same positioning like a year ago, and I hadn't seen it since until just now. And the cool thing about it is, yeah, like you said, it's the last place people look, but they're all going to scout your main. With Blue St. Phoenix, the Mothership Core might get in there, an Observer might get into main, right? Something will get in your main. It might be a Phoenix Scout, whatever it is, and they won't see that Dark Shrine.
Oz is really close to this area, but also like commit yourself to that middle line, to that area. That's a pretty long way to go, especially considering on Daybreak, there's not really a second way out.
Is the Mothership Core going to go down, or is he going to go...
Oh,
he's trying to get energy for recall. 99 energy!
Okay.
Oh, he can do it. Oh, but he's actually out of...
Oh,
is he going to scout it?
See this. How does he know?
I think he's just trying to escape. And he's just going to, like...
Oh, Stalker's going to get down there.
I mean, there's no way they can kill before it's... Oh, he's seen it, and he backed away, so he's hoping that Sage won't realize he sees it. Because if your opponent doesn't realize that you see it, sometimes they'll send like 3 ETs at once to try to kill the robot super fast.
Yeah.
And if you can catch it, that's a big win.
Oh my god, 2 Stalkers getting taken off guard. Sage trying to back up. There's 5 Stalkers here from Oz. This is a 3-gate push here. And again, he has a Robo on the way as well, so he will have the ability to detect sometimes soon.
There's no proxy
force
pylon,
field.
is there? For DTs.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, a great force field by Sage. Buys him some time. But Oz, he's going to back away.
He already deployed Photon Overcharge.
Yeah, and Oz saw that. As soon as he saw Photon Overcharge, he backs away. Yep. The Dark Shrine is not going to be canceled because he's hoping that he can warp in a couple units and catch the opponent before detection comes out. In fact, the first Observer is on the way, so if there was a proxy pylon, maybe he could get some damage done, but... I mean, this whole tech is just done now, right?
I mean, he has a Zealot Stalker marched up into his opponent's main, but there's 3 defensive Stalkers there for Oz. It's not going to be an issue.
Oh, and he sees the other robotics being chrono boosted, so he's probably not even going to send the DT in.
Yeah.
He might try to hide it in the back to natural, and then try to time when the Observer would leave, and kind of do a guessing game of, okay, he has Observer, he's going to assume if I was going to send a DT, I would have already sent it. Oh, but no, the DT's... One DT gets caught there.
Everything is going right for Oz
in
this game.
And there's only 1 Dark Templar left now, and that's super important in this situation because you can't replace those.
Yeah.
And one of the big things about Dark Templar opening, even if your opponent has Observers out, often it's the threat of being able to run in DTs at any moment can really scare him because they have to both have 1 Observer back for defense and also units back for defense. And so that can be really scary, but if you know you just killed a Dark Shrine, that threat can kind of disappear.
Oh.
Well, you might lose this Nexus.
Stalker's coming up here for Oz, going to start poking away at the Nexus. Once that Nexus finishes, things are going to be okay, because he has Photon Overcharge. Got to keep that Mothership Core alive.
Oz has to be, I think he has to back away here.
He's to be so careful.
With 3 Sentries and an Immortal, if he gets cornered by force fields and the Stalkers get segmented in half, he's going to lose 3-4 Stalkers for nothing, and that's something that can turn the game around. Right now, he's got control of the map. He's feeling in a good position. Not a instant win position, but a good one. But if he would lose 4 Stalkers for nothing, that would be a total disaster.
All right. Oz going to be backing up. He took a Nexus behind this, so it's not like he was going for any sort of one-base all-in follow-up to kind of finish what a fantastic early game it has been for him. Instead, putting down that Nexus has a Twilight Council working on Charge, interestingly enough, and putting down a Forge. Kind of a similar route he went to last game, going for the early Archons. But Sage able to get that natural expansion nexus down. So as far as economy is concerned, these guys are very similar. But the tech progress, the tech choices are pretty different so far.
Oz going for the support base. So trying to go up for the Colossus tech. Of course, Oz has scouted Sage's tech path. He has the Observer in the main to Sage spawn everything. Sage has done the same with the hallucinated Phoenix. So there's no secrets for either player.
Yep.
And when there's no secrets in PvP, people typically go for Colossi. Because you're always fine going Colossi. As long as you pay attention to scout, make sure if you see your opponent going mass air, you also get appropriate anti-air. But if you don't go Colossi, if your opponent has like 3-4 Colossi, you don't have any, there's often timings they can hit, abusing the range of the Colossi to either deny your third or to take an extra expansion advantage. So when both people know everything is going on, Colossi is the safest choice.
We see another fancy placement of tech, Stargate, just in the middle of nowhere, which is, I guess it's fine. And we have a dark Templar, the one Dark Templar that's still alive from the beginning, being dropped in the main, and honestly, there's not really any detection in the main there. So he can actually get some probe kills, I think.
He could.
I think he's going to wait, though.
That's his
get some
one.
probe kills, force his opponent to pull back, and then try to force for the ramp or something.
That's the last of the DTs.
Yes.
There's going to be no more DTs after that guy.
Last of their kind.
Yeah. Another Dark Trine would have to be built. But he's going to the mid right now while the frontal attack is distracting Oz. And he can rack up a lot of kills if Oz doesn't react super fast.
Decision time for Oz. Does he go back and deal with that, or does he stay back and worry about this push? It's
He's
a very
already gotten
difficult
5
decision.
probe kills.
Wow.
Of course, Oz.
You gotta be so careful. If Sentry gets in there and force fields the ramp.
Yes. And that's what Sage is looking for. Stalkers go back to defend the pros, but there's no observer with them. So
where's the observer?
DT is this DT is just racking up kills
12,
like a crazy man.
13.
Oz, what are you doing?
Oz, you need an observer.
Oh man, it became a master.
15. All right, we also have an engagement here just outside the natural expansion here for Oz. Great force fields there from Sage, isolating 2 zealots, taking down.
His army is smaller though, I think. He's got to be a little careful.
I think, does he have recall?
He does, and he's going to recall out, taking out the star.
That was really good for Sage.
A great 15 probe kills. Then
killed the Stargate.
Yeah.
Killed 2 zealots.
I mean, wow. And he killed the Mothership Core of Oz in that engagement as well.
Did he?
Yeah, he snapped out the Mothership Core. So, an amazing series of events. Oz, who had the great early game, now all of a sudden it's totally reversed. His advantage was he had a significant worker advantage, but now it's if anything, Sage has the economic advantage with that third Nexus finishing up. And look how safe he's playing. This is so smart. Adding in massive warp gates is super smart because warp gates reinforce fast. So you can both defend your third very fast, and you can try to hit a timing if your opponent tries to take your own third.
He's going to come up.
Oh, yeah, Sage. I don't know if Sage should be going out here, actually. This is
I think it's okay because the zealots are going toward the third. This is half of the army. No militia core here to recall.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, he is going to lose the third, so maybe it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
It was a very tough situation because Oz had a stronger standing army. But now Sage has all these gateways completing, but unfortunately he's not going to have the money to really utilize every single warp gate.
Gotta rebuild that next.
Yeah, he definitely
I wonder if he like canceled 2 of the gateways.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe, but he probably want to rebuild them once the third gets up. So
I think it's fine. You know, what if he had that militia core at the third? Photon overcharge.
That many zealots wouldn't have cared.
Well, I mean, like right when he spots him going in that direction.
Yeah, he would have killed. It would have got him a zealot. It would have got him 1 or 2 zealot kills, which is nice. But warp doesn't counter it in the main. This is nice. 3 zealot warp in from Oz, but there's more zealots from Sage. You can warp in additional reinforcements.
1 zealot refusing to come out of the warp prison, saying, "You know what? You guys have fun down there.
Zealot.
I'm staying up here. I'll be the supervisor."
Yeah. Oh, now he drops that. He's like, okay. Now
he feels bad. He's like, "Okay, guys, I'll come help." And then he just dies.
There's no one left by the time he comes down there. He was like busy reading a book in the warp prison, and he didn't realize everyone left. He's like, "Oh shoot, I missed it."
All right, we have Sage coming over to this third, and the War Prism is not done. More Zealots picked up. Oh, the Stalkers need to target that guy down, and the Zealot's going to be dropped once again. Trying to warp in. Oh, it's taken out there. The War Prism does.
And a great defense by Oz, actually. This counterattack by Sage has totally failed.
Yes.
And he's actually donated basically 800, 900,000 minerals.
Yep.
Because he literally killed almost nothing. He lost a lot of Zealots and the War Prism. He's trying to be aggressive here again.
Where's this opponent's army? It's okay. That Stargate is just trying to happen there, but it just hasn't been happening.
I'm worried for Sage because he does have recall, but doesn't have a warp pylon. And if he doesn't hit recall fast enough, Oz has more charge slots, and he could run over that army pretty fast.
Got to be careful. 1 Zealot gonna be scouting. Gonna die. See what happens here.
Oh, but Oz isn't quite ready for this.
Is he gonna try to take it down and just recall out?
Great time warp. He still has energy. Yeah, he does.
See ya.
Beautiful set of moves there by Sage. That is outmaneuvering your opponent there because Oz had a stronger army at that area of the map. Oz's army was stronger, but Sage, he kind of juked him. He knew Oz didn't have vision over him, so he kind of attacked down through the entrance to natural, and then Oz was kind of positioning himself to defend both bases, and he's like, no, I'm just going to go snatch out the third time warp to delay. And that was just an amazing sequence of events. Now he's got double Colossi production. He has plenty of warp gates. So during a battle, he can reinforce very easily. And Oz, I think, does Oz feel compelled to try to attack the third base?
He wants revenge, man. He's coming over. Oh, 3 Archons getting taken off guard there. Sage backing up, not really expecting that. Time Warp, I think, might not be available.
He doesn't have energy.
Yeah, he just used Photon Overcharge. But kiting away, very nice. Getting a position on top of the ramp.
And that's not a ramp. You want to force yourself up against 5 Colossi. Oh, he's going to split his army in half. But that could be so risky if Sage... this could go really bad or really great for Oz.
Oh my god, he sent some units in the main too. Zell's going to be chopping away this third base. A very technical situation here. Sage needs to perfectly appropriate his units. And I think he should be able to protect that third.
He's done it pretty well.
Okay.
A very nice defense by Sage. Oh, the third is vulnerable yet again. More Zell's heading towards there.
Oh, the next is gone. It's gone.
Oh.
And look at that, even peeling away some units, realizing that it's dead.
He doesn't want to lose all the Zealots to kill it.
Wow. What a game.
You know, Sage might have been a little bit too cautious about Oz's army. I mean, at first it was stronger, but it's such a tough position because once your opponent has that situation where you can't run out and face him because they'll counterattack the other direction.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, Sage had more units there, but he couldn't find a way to get him where he wanted him to be. And Oz split his army up so well. But he's able to catch an Archon here.
Nice.
Archons are so important, both for damage and for tanking.
He's going to stay alive for now.
Oz has got to get up that ramp. Oh, if he can get... barely. If he was like 2 hexes closer, maybe a time warp could have landed, he could have nailed it back 3 Colossi, but as is, he's going to go his own attack on third base, and now Oz is in a situation where he doesn't know which ramp to defend.
Daybreak.
And time warps can be so huge here. Look at his Mothership Core coming in here, hits the time warp.
And he's having to take engagement now. He's up in supply.
And look at the concave.
Yes, and he's keeping it that way. He's realized that, okay, not everything is attacking the Nexus. And look at this, Oz is going to try to engage here. But again, the concave is phenomenal here from Sage. He's going to be very happy with taking this engagement. And is he just going to... Okay, I guess he's getting pushed back a little bit.
He traded very well. The thing is,
really good trade.
what he was very careful of, if he continued fighting, a lot of his Colossi would have been shooting the Nexus.
Does he have a forward pylon too?
He has one at the bottom of the map. That's his closest pylon.
Yeah,
Very bottom. He just reinforced Zelsum there.
Yeah.
So he wanted to play safe. He knew, okay, I lost all my front army. I have more units in him, but if he warps in a line of charge slots and they just charge in, I could lose 3-4 Colossi in the blink of an eye. So very smart to back up there. His third's reestablished now. He has a supply lead, and it's pretty much all an army. And that army is actually mostly in right now Zealots and Archons, is what he's been able to reinforce with. Oh, if he can get up into main here before Oz is not in position to defend a ramp.
Oh gosh, and again, all these buildings are going to be kind of clunky, okay?
The buildings, it's interesting, they can work both ways.
Yeah,
they can path Oz's army, but if Oz can retreat, Sage's units might be stuck attacking the buildings, especially the Colossi in the back.
Going through little channels too.
Yeah, so both players trying to manipulate the terrain, and they're both playing it very well right now. Sage wants a direct engagement, but Oz says, you know what, if you fight me, my buildings will tank some of the damage, and maybe I can win the engagement.
Deja vu, there goes the time warp, and Sage is here once again.
He's going to siege a Nexus with the Colossi, force Oz to come up from behind the Colossi.
Here comes Oz, coming with the charge lots, but a lot of charge lots here from Sage. He has that supply advantage, 167 to 134. Tempest coming out here, taking down, or at least targeting down the Colossus. But Sage is going to muscle through here, targeting down those Colossus with his Immortals. With his Colossus, he has so many units, and Oz is in a world of trouble. I think Sage might be able to take it right here.
Oh, but the Tempest is just taking down. The Tempest has so much damage to Colossi. Sage almost had it. Oh no, he can't lose the Tempest. That's such an important unit.
Go! 20 HP.
Look at that boy. And that's so important because the Tempest, what it does really well against is massive air units. And because the Colossi can get hit by anti-air attacks, the Tempest does its full bonus damage, which is like 4 times what it normal damage is.
Yeah.
So it can take down Colossi so fast. And I think it alone basically took out 2 Colossi in that battle, and that's, I mean, each Colossi is so important
what a
there.
cool move there. I mean, it was a dire situation for Oz. It looked pretty much over, but then the Tempest, the Tempest came in there, started getting its damage done, and then it became much more even. But Sage still has that supply advantage. 141 to 119. Thought about taking the Nexus to the bottom right.
He went very Stalker heavy. Maybe he overreacted to Tempest because charge shots are a little better. Oh, but he can stop the Nexus to recall out if he wants to.
Snipes the Nexus, recalls out. 2 Stalkers not getting the memo. Didn't get to the recall area in time. Same with those 2 Zealots that Stalker. But taking out the 3rd, so important. And he's securing a 4th behind this. And now...
Oh, this is a nightmare for Oz.
Yeah, it's a race against time. Like,
and it's like earlier on, the players could rebuild the Nexuses easily because they're on 2 base economy. So 400 minerals wasn't that big deal. But right now, Oz is on 1 base economy. His main is mined out. He's only mining for his natural. So the 400 minerals to rebuild that Nexus 3rd is such a big blow to him. He doesn't feel he can afford it. He's going to spend all on a counterattack saying, you know what, my one advantage might be you're very Stalker heavy.
Yeah.
And Charge Out Arc on it is going to be good. But Sage has, he has this more units.
Warp and stuff.
Yeah, and every minute he's going to warp in so many units.
Yeah, he has the resources, he has the economy, securing this 4th base. Oz trying to find out where is the best way to engage. Where is the best place? How can I catch my opponent off guard? Has this pylon here, which is great.
The Tempests are going to be key. If the Tempest can find a spot where they can kind of be safe from the Stalkers and pick away at the Colossi before the battle starts, that's going to be huge. But in its open area, the Tempests really aren't actually that amazing. And he's trying to pick at Sage before the battle starts, but the blinking, losing the 1 Tempest, that's not good.
All right, Sage refusing to engage, making Oz bring the battle to him, and again, trying to catch that Tempest off guard. Blinking once, taking 1 down, but here we go. Oz is going to turn around and engage, but Sage, he has so much, blinking those Stalkers to the side of the Tempest, trying to get the damage on the Colossus, but Sage is retreating that guy back. Great micro there. And Oz is kind of running out of units here, but can he try to punch through? With only Colossus left, trying to orbit as many units as possible from the pylon, I think it might not be possible. Putting up a good fight, though.
Yeah, he is. Sage had so many more units, but some of them were Stalkers.
The probes!
The probe flank comes in there!
Come here, Colossus!
I think one of the probes got a Colossus kill.
Do you think so? I have to verify that.
I mean, it's...
At a later,
yeah.
by looking at the replay. But Sage, excuse me, from Root Gaming, taking the 2-0 over Oz, and a game that started with just a complete, nothing was going right for Sage in the early game.
No.
But then a 15 kill or 16 kill heroic DT, the last of his kind, made it happen. He made the comeback happen.
And it's funny, that DT was around for so long.
Yeah.
Remember,
patience.
They were both, there was 2 DTs only in that entire game. They were both warped in, instant Dark Shrine finished. Then Dark Shrine died like 3 seconds after they were warped in.
Right.
And then one of them just charged and bravely at the start and got taken out. And the other one is like, I'm not gonna be that foolish.
I will remember. I think it was more he remembered what the other DT tried to do.
Yes.
He drew inspiration upon the heroic deed of the other DT that did nothing but died. And he was looking for revenge, and he made it happen. And that, again, Sage, such a good player.
And then it went back and forth.
Yeah.
So then Sage had a small lead, but then, they took turns outmaneuvering each other and
killing next
thirds. Yeah, it was just, such a back and forth game. Then when Oz had a Tempest, I was like, maybe he can use this as a tool to turn the game around. But then that last Nexus snipe.
Yeah.
Because Tempests are great defensively, but when you try to attack, we could see Oz couldn't find a spot to put him where they would be able to manipulate the battle. They were just kind of there in the battle. And just as a general A-move combat unit, they're not really the best units, and the battle didn't really go his way.
Yeah, but Oz, putting up a fight as in the later stages. I thought, all right, Sage has got this battle. It looks pretty clear. But then the Tempest comes in and starts doing ridiculous damage to Colossus. But really cool series there. 2-0 for Sage. Sage will be advancing to the Premier League. Guys, coming up next, we have more WCS America coming at you. We got one more spot to give away in the Premier League Season 2 and a Challenger League spot as well. Guys, stay tuned. More WCS coming up.